I'm muted again. Thank you. Thank you. Let's start over here. Getting started a little wonky here this morning. My son forgot his lunchbox. And the traffic was unforgiving this morning. The traffic was unforgiving. So let's go ahead and get started. Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to build wealth. We're excited for another day of trading. Lord, we just want to be faithful with the resources you've given us. We want to be good stewards of that. Thank you. You've given us the ability to produce wealth. We come against any greed, selfish ambition, lust for more. And Father, we just receive what you have for us this morning. In your name, amen. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the market. We're a little bit behind. Obviously, the first and most obvious level that I want to target is this. This is our data high and our data low. These are great levels. You tend to get a really good setup from those. So we're going to mark this because that seems to be the obvious fair value gap in my eyes. We do have our first fair value gap sitting right here. Let's go ahead and mark our 930 price. We're going to get all the stuff that we need to get done here relatively quickly because I don't want to miss something. I don't like how small that is though. I'm not going to lie, that's a really small fair value gap. Nonetheless, it is the first one. How are you guys doing this morning? Alkai, thanks for letting me know about the audio. Josh, Deborah, good morning. Folks, good morning. Okay. The reason why I can tell you why my audio has been muted the past 2 days, because the past 2 days I've been testing out my solar panels. So as of right now, this entire room is ran completely on solar power. And when I had to make that transition and I was doing some tests, I had to shut off everything in this office. And so when it turns back on, it automatically sets to off. So my audio is automatically set to off and I don't go back and pay attention to it. Okay, so my initial analysis was from CPI news that I expected we were going to go lower to go higher. And so far, I've been correct. Now we just need to see if we're in fact going to go higher. Let me get a couple other things. I need to get my copier set up here. So bear with me here. All right, I'm getting all my end set up so I can be ready to take a trade when the market gives it to us. Just about done. I am watching that first fair value gap. We've come into it once and we're deciding if we want to break below it or not, as of what I can see right now. We have a large premium opening range gap, which is very, very nice. Adds to our narrative in price action this morning that we will see higher prices. Sorry, folks. This is all because I got started late here this morning. Gotta get everything shade up. I used to be an electrician, so I did the... Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, I did all of it myself, and I did it from YouTube videos. I even installed my own transfer switch. I did get buzzed one time. I got the 2 dots on my fingers to prove it, but it was from the solar panels generating electricity and not me paying attention that the wires were going to be hot. So I got stung a little bit. But I will tell you, I shared this on stream a couple, maybe last week. I probably saved $10,000 to $15,000 doing it, easily. Probably closer to 15 is my guess. Okay, let me make sure I got everything, and I need to settle down. Stream's up. My accounts are open. Market's going. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's mark our levels. Okay. I'm going to keep this chart open here, and we're going to get everything set up on the second chart right here. Let's mark our midnight open. That's the closest thing right here. Okay, there's midnight open. Want to also mark our opening range or our new day opening gap. This is our new day opening gap high. It is 1010. And then we want to mark our new day opening gap low. We have our midnight open. We have our 9:30 open. We need our previous day low and high. I like how they left the previous day high intact, not grabbed, not touched. So that's going to be available for a potential draw on liquidity. There's our previous day low. And just looking at this, I like how this candle came into this order block here on the daily time frame. And then we expanded back higher. We also closed above the consequent encroachment of this daily wick. That's bullish as well. So despite us having been red currently, I do think we're going to expand higher. The area of interest is going to be from this week's high to the daily fair value gaps high. Those are the area of interest of price moving somewhere up into this region. Dropping down to an hourly time frame, we just tagged the previous day high here at right after CPI. So we have already tagged the previous day high and we found support there. That is also good news. Now, it doesn't mean we can't go back lower, we can't reach down here. It doesn't mean any of that. But it is a signature in price that I want to keep track of, and just note that this plays into the narrative for higher prices. Okay? We also filled the last 1 hour fair value gap right here. This would have been a nice turtle soup, to be honest. This would have been a nice turtle soup. Now, since I know that we are hang on. Yes, it is a tax write-off, Deborah, and I plan on using that. Now, I did have a question on that. If you know, if you installed it, does that include all of the components that it takes to install it? So, for example, if I buy screws and conduit, does that include that? All right, so I like these are relatively smooth areas. This is a fair value gap sitting right here at 835. That is the last fair value gap to the swing high. I don't know. I'd pass on that. I think I'm going to pass on that. Be nice to get another purge down here, as if we're going to drop lower. And then look for longs targeting these relatively equal highs and this data high. That'd be nice. Okay, now that I'm all squared away, if you guys want to see the first trade taken on screen, I need to get about 15 likes. Give me 15 likes and we will be taking that first trade on screen with everybody here. It's for running wires. This previous day high and this data high are too smooth. I don't care how aggressive we are going lower. I want a move higher. That's what I want to look for. I'm using an EcoFlow system, so it's one battery. It's a 5.2 kilowatt battery. It allows me to expand and attach it very, very easily. Just set it all on top of each other. So I'll be expanding that as I go. And even if we were going to take a short, there was no opportunity. This is a fair value gap, but we didn't grab any liquidity up here. So I wouldn't have taken this anyway. This new day opening gap looks attractive down here to find some support. We just purged this liquidity again and ran the previous day low. Excuse me, we ran the previous day high. Yeah, it's one battery and it's 5 kilowatts. I'm not doing the, you know, get a bunch of car batteries and set them in there and, you know, get 75 car batteries. No, we won't do that. I have a Tesla, and I really wanted to try to find a way to make my Tesla work, but as soon as I started to look into it, I figured out really quickly that was not going to work. Jason, good morning. Glad to have you this morning. Ted, I'm seeing you on here as well. Good morning. Has anybody taken any trades? I know I got on late. Did anybody take any trades? This is what I want to see right here, folks. Okay, hang on. I'm liking this. Okay, 30 second, the 1 minute. Okay, I don't like this small fair value gap right here, but I'm expecting an explosion higher. That's how I'm looking at this. So it looks as if the 2 minute is our best option. I don't like how high it is though. And it's creating a very large fair value gap here. The reason it caught my attention is this candle moved aggressively very quickly. And then this candle started aggressive and now it's not. We'll see what happens here. Here's a breaker on the 30 second. We did sweep liquidity on the sell side right here, so it's valid. Yeah, this looks really good. All right, let me turn down the music here. All right, get into the focus zone. I'm half tempted to take a long right here with the expectation we're running higher, and we ran sell side, and it looks as if I'm going to be correct, but let's see if we can come back down into this fair value gap, into this order block. We have a propulsion block right here, so it could just expand higher right now. We're running into 930 price. The reason I haven't taken a trade is I'm speculating. Everything that I've wanted to see happen is happening, but I'm speculating that we run all the way up here. I don't know if I want to take a trade off of speculation. I need a few more likes, folks. I want to take long. Actually, we're going to do it right here. I think we're going to try this. Ah, that's not working. I do not want it to come back down here. If it does, I'm fine taking a... Looking for these equal high, relatively equal highs right here. I'm going to take that profit there in case it wants to retrace all the way, which I've seen that happen before, where it comes really close and then it retraces 30 handles or so. So we took majority off there, folks. We have one contract left. We're moving that to break even, and we're going to let this ride all the way up to the data high. That's my goal. That's where I want it. Okay, we did end up sweeping that high that I wanted, just very, very lightly. And I'm okay with taking my profits before then, because sometimes that won't hit before a retracement. So we took our profits at, what would that have been? 30 handles. We took the 30 handle trade on that play right there. And then we got our TP sitting way up there. This is going to be a... it's going to be a 130 handle play when this plays out. I'm saying when it plays out. That's what I'm saying. When it plays out, it's going to be 130 handles. Look at these. Look at this right here. Look how it's resistant to this. This will be ran. Do you see what I'm saying? Look how smooth this is here. It's all smooth right here. It's going to be ran. We might get somewhat of a retracement and I might get stopped out, but if I don't, I will be in this. And we will explode through this running for those highs. Michael, way to go, my friend. Uh-oh. Is it gonna hit me? Is it gonna come all the way down, or are we just gonna stop at this fair value gap? Here's our order block, bullish order block. So I got stops sitting right below that. See that? Look at that. That's what I was expecting to happen, is that we aggressively come down, scare people, and then we're just going to fly through these levels. We are going to explode through these levels. Honestly, I kind of want to take another position. Disregard this line. This was just to illustrate how smooth everything was. Okay, let's see if we close above this down close candle. Okay, we just did. That's now an order block. This should be safe. I should be able to move my stop up to this low. Now, if we just decide to sweep this level and then come lower, that's fine. It can stop me out because it shouldn't really come down here. This is the type of reaction to a fair value gap I want to see. So when I see this aggressive down close candle and then it closes above, creating an order block, it tells me that this should be safe. This should be safe. Even the mean threshold. The mean threshold should be relatively secure. So I'm going to mark this out here. This would be the mean threshold. The MT. Mean threshold. So let's see if that actually plays out. It actually didn't run the high. It created an equal high right here. So it's really trying to get orders before this move. Meaning they're trying to get people thinking that there's resistance, so they go short here. If somebody's going short, that means they're selling along to somebody. That means they're selling along to institutions that are taking longs here, ready for this to go higher. That's how I view it at. If it wants to run and stop me out, I'm okay. If this closes red, I'm probably going to be stopped out. You said you wanted to hold your trades a little longer, so good job on working on that. Thank you. Yeah. It's definitely a lot easier when you do take profits. It's a lot easier to hold on to those trades, but I do want to see this run. This, if there's a day for it to run, it's today. I wouldn't have done this on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Honestly, I would have probably taken my profits and left. But I want to see price run this high. And then target up here. 130 handles. Here we go. There we go. Come on, close green on me. What time is it? 10:05. 10 a.m. was where? Right here? Right there. Okay. Here we go. $200 ticks. We just wicked that high. I do not want this to close red. It needs to expand here. It needs to move higher from here. Aggressively. The first level I would want to see it to move aggressively to is this swing high right here. This is a minor buy side liquidity. Let's jump up to the 5-minute just so we can get a little more in the screen here. The next thing I want to see have happen is I want this 5-minute candle. I need it to close above this level here. That would be a 5-minute change in state of delivery. So I need that in the next 3 minutes. Or it could completely retrace on me. Not liking that. That should probably, unless I want to move this to below this fair value gap. I might do that. I'm kind of committed to seeing this run. We did fill 50% of this opening range gap. So if we toggle over to regular trading hours, you're going to see this gap filled. 50% of it. Look at that right there. This is the opening range gap. And that was now filled. So that candle would have stopped me out. But it did not go below the swing low of this candle, which was what I was watching. This is too bright. It's just too bright. It stands out too much. All right, so this is what I was watching here. My stop loss was at this low, but I was watching this wick right here to see if we were going to break that, because this is technically where I probably should have put my stop loss, and it wouldn't have been stopped out there. All right, I want to see a 30-second inversion right here. I want to see an inversion on the 30-second sitting right here. Okay, we just closed above that. I want to see this expand and not close below that 30-second inversion. technically there's one right here, a very small gap, so it technically doesn't qualify, but I still want to see this expand higher from here after we closed above that. Why? We swept this low right here, so this is liquidity, making this semi-valid. It's not valid because there's a very tiny inversion fair value gap right here, which we just closed above that one, which I don't care because it's so small, it's insignificant for me. But I'm looking at now price running to these highs. That's really the next thing I want to see happen after this manipulation leg. I don't see how we come back down here. I don't see us coming back down here. We should be moving higher. We should run higher, and I would want us to fill the rest of this opening range gap. All right, here's our expansion. Let's see if let's expand above this high here. Okay, there it is. Let's see us be aggressive, filling the rest of this opening range gap. Here's a minor buy side. You could see a retracement after this. Not large, but somewhat of a retracement. Did we get the 5-minute change in state of delivery? Did anybody pay attention to that? We did. We got the 5-minute change in state of delivery right here. Okay, there's the 5-minute, and we would have closed where? At 10:09, right here. There was the close. The close for that 5-minute was on this candle right here at 10:09. So we closed above it. That gives me confidence that we are, in fact, going to expand. I mean, I already felt that, but it adds to that confidence that we're expanding higher. I want to see this level act as an order block overlapping with this fair value gap sitting right here. I'm going to remove these equal highs. There's our order block rejection. It rejected from the wick inside this fair value gap. Nice reaction. Let's see if it wants to expand from here. I don't like these equal lows here. Do you guys see these equal lows? I did mention we shouldn't come back down here, but now that I'm looking at it again, I don't like these equal lows at all. Let's see if we can get this buy side first. Are you doing a micro or mini? This is a micro. I took 5 micros. Copied on 5 different accounts. Good morning, Charles. How you doing, my friend? The thing about, I like doing micros because it's low risk, and when I'm copying it on 5 to 10 different accounts, it's still as if I'm taking 2 mini contracts. No, 3. Basically about 3 mini contracts, 2.5 mini contracts. So I'm totally okay with that. I want to see an expansion right here, creating a new order block. I want this to be a new order block for me right here. I feel a retracement coming. You look at the 5-minute time frame. 5 minutes solid green candles. I feel a retracement coming. All right, here is our 5-minute order block or a fair value gap sitting right here. If we can close above this in the next 4 minutes, I'm predicting this level to be ran up here. So we got 4 minutes to really see what happens here. If we don't get a close on the 5-minute, I probably will sell my position. I may consider that. We did create an order block barely. It's not any significance. That tells that to me that's like, oh, we could consolidate here. We didn't even run this buy side though on the 1 minute. So it's a buy side swing high on the 1 minute time frame sitting right here. Two minutes left for this 5 minute. I got a feeling we're not going to close above it and come all the way back down to this 5 minute change in state of delivery. Right down here. The whole stream might be one trade, folks. Yeah, there's the expansion lower. Let's see if it turns around here and starts wicking higher. If it expands right here lower, it's probably running lower. Yep. So the 5 minute is not going to give me a close. I'm going to move my stop up to the 5 minute change in state of delivery. The order block's high. It could absolutely, and is probably, I mean, it makes sense for price to come back to that level. And that's where I would have been, that's where I took my profits anyway. Let's see what happens if we find support on this fair value gap. Doesn't seem that way. This basically is 40 handles. This will be a 40 handle stop loss. So being stopped out in profit by 40 handles. If it stops me out. Give me a green candle there. Oh, dang it. It didn't give me a green candle. That's not a good sign. There it is. That is a one and done play, folks. I more than doubled in this one trade what I've made on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And by the way, I ended up back at break even on Wednesday. I took some losses in the morning, but there was a great breaker set up in the afternoon. I took one breaker, got back to break even, and called it a day. So I basically, in this one trade, doubled what I made, or more than doubled what I made on Monday and Tuesday. This is what news days look like. I'm watching this fair value gap right there. If we run above this fair value gap, this was, I mentioned this before, this was the fair value gap I wanted to see closed above to target these data highs. You know, where my stop loss was technically could be an entry. I wouldn't do that though, because I'm watching these to see if we want to run those equal lows. Sorry. I'm now talking on two different charts. Let's go back to here. I'm watching this fair value gap right here. It is overlapping with the 930 price, and we do have relatively equal lows sitting right here. All this right here is relatively equal. So we want to see if price wants to, what it wants to do with that. It could expand right here because this is the 5-minute change in state of delivery. I don't like taking an inversion here. This is a breaker. This also is a breaker, folks. This is a, look at this, nice breaker. Low, high, lower, low, expanding. Here's the breaker. I would wait and see, wait for a 1-minute change in state of delivery. Or, man, 1 minute, yeah, I don't like that. Villainous, good morning. Josh, your question, the trailing drawdown rules don't kill you on these. The trailing drawdown rules don't kill you on these. They can, but let's just say it doesn't go higher and it goes all the way back down here. It could absolutely do that. You have to protect yourself. I want to protect some profit. So where is that level that you're willing to take profit on and and when you're stopped out, you're not, utterly disappointed that you got stopped out and you say to yourself, oh man, I regret this. I should have taken my profits, right? For me, this was that level. I was okay. I'm like, if I take 40 handles, I'm happy with that. I'll take 40 handles. I missed out on 75 handles by selling up here. But that's okay. I was willing to do that to see if I could get the long. Now, if it bounces right here, the lesson I'm learning is next time, Tyler, don't put your stop loss at a 5-minute change in state of delivery place or a breaker. I mean, now that I'm looking back, I'm like, that wasn't smart, Tyler. If anything, I should have put it at this wick right here. If anything, I should have put it at the midpoint of this wick. Looking back, that's what I should have done. Because this would have told me price is going to run lower. You got a 2-minute right here. Oh, that sucks. This trade didn't get copied. That sucks. I took this, the trade I took was off of the order block, closing above this 2-minute inversion fair value gap, targeting these swing highs and this buy side liquidity sitting right here. And my trade wasn't copied, so I was like, that sucks. For whatever reason, it didn't copy it on those accounts. So this is just a single account trade. I thought about killing it, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to kill it because I didn't get the leverage I want. I took the trade. Let's see the trade play out. Stop at break even. Technically hasn't been hit yet. It should be this high. Stop at break even is this high right here. If we get a close below this, I'll close the trade. I'm not liking this reaction. $12 seconds. Watching this close. See where it closes. Okay, it closed at the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, which is the 2-minute. So the trade's still valid. Now I have to decide at what point, if it starts expanding lower within the 2-minute time frame, do I want to kill the trade. I think I'll kill the trade at the mean threshold of this order block, which would be right here. If we get to the mean threshold of this order block, I'll kill the trade. Kind of can't tell. I should have put the... Yeah, so we didn't quite get to it. I'll just put a limit order there. All right, there's my stop. Hard stop unless it closes in 1 minute below here. These are the rules that I do my inversions on. Love it. Okay, so there's the stop out. I don't feel bad for taking that trade. It was a legitimate setup. The only thing is it didn't run liquidity. It bounced off of this breaker, which is why I took the trade. We're probably going to bounce off this breaker again. But I will be closing all my accounts. I'm not going to take another trade after that. No, I have an active order. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I about closed everything out, and I would have left this there. That would have absolutely sucked. Oh. That was a flashback to July, guys. That was a flashback to July. All right, so we swept these lows here. We should expand here. I would want to see an expansion here higher. For those of you, I'm opening myself another eval account. I don't have a new eval account. So I'm going to open a new eval account, go from 5 to 6, and I will continue I'll hang out here. Price action has been pretty good. No way. I take that back. I'm not going to buy that. What is that discount? That's a horrible. It's okay, guys. So right now it seems like their discount is 50% off with 85 funded activation fees. $85 funded activation fee. So I'm not going to be buying this account. I'm not paying. For a 25K account, it's $73. And please don't buy one, guys. Please don't. Please do not buy an account right now with these discounts. Wait till we get better discounts. We'll get better discounts. You bet, TOC. It's in the car.
Is it chilly outside?
Not really. I mean, you probably want something. I think this is the level, folks. I think when this closes above here, that's when we hit this high. It's kind of what I'm keeping my eye on. This breaker is going to be significant. I do think this breaker is going to hold. This change in state of delivery. We may get these wicks, but I think it's going to hold. And it looks as if I would have been stopped out on my initial bringing my stop loss on that first trade to this consequent encroachment of this fair value gap or of this wick. I would have been stopped out on this candle at 1036. No, I'm not taking a long right now, but this is a good long. We did sweep liquidity here. We tagged this fair value gap. This is probably an A- setup. I don't like that we still have these equal lows down here. But we did sweep liquidity here. And we do have a clear swing high. And it's a tight stop loss. So oh, that's a 1 minute. I'm on the 2 minute. Hang on. That was a 2 minute. No, I take that back. I don't like those longs. I would be sitting. We got 5 minutes till the 11 a.m. macro, so let's see what that gives us here. So yesterday I was reviewing some of my videos that I've recorded for the Purpose Driven Academy that we're going to be opening next month, and 3 of the videos have absolutely no audio that I recorded that was going to start any. Same thing. It switched off and I didn't pay attention to it. So I recorded 3 20-minute videos, an hour's worth of recording, and it's silent. I was like, no, please. Oh, man. So I have to re-record those today. Re-recording something is the worst. It's the worst. It's definitely a first world problem, though. It's definitely a first world problem. Yeah, the 1 minute doesn't look very clean. How long did I hold that trade for? I got in here at 9:54. And I got stopped out here. So I held it for 30 minutes. That's rare for me. If we close above this in 30 seconds, I would be taken along. As long as we don't close above this high. It will be a close on the 1 minute and the 30 second for an inversion, but I want to see it close above this. 6 seconds. I'd be taking the long now. So there's the entry. Stop loss will be at break even once you hit this high. So here's the entry. Stop loss is now at break even. You need your stop loss at break even. I would be holding this as long as it doesn't stop us out. Come on, don't stop us out. I'm not in this trade. Okay, there's a stop out. I'm not in this trade because I closed my accounts. After a big win like that, I'm not going to take another one. So see how that break even stopped us, saved us here? The break even is what we want to save. The break even saves us many times. It also can cause us to lose on opportunities, but it's worth it. It is worth it. You could call me the break even king. I don't care. I mean, I would rather be stopped out at break even than take a loss. Okay, so we swept these highs. I don't like sweeping the highs and then wanting to take another long right here, especially inside this fair value gap. We need more context. So we need to come down maybe to this breaker. I like this breaker. Like this fair value gap. I would even like it more if we swept sell side to go long, but I doubt we get that far. You bet, Sandra. I remember the first time I took a trade on NQ. I was like, whoa. I had dollar signs in my eyes, but I was also nervous as heck. Now it's just like, yeah, manipulation. What are you going to do? You're going to sit back and let the trade play out. If you guys have appreciated the commentary, we were supposed to get to 15 likes for me to take that trade, but I gave some grace considering I got on late. If you appreciated the commentary and that trade walkthrough and that trade management, do me a solid and hit the like button for me. It's free. It's completely free. Zero cost. No cost. But I understand. For those of you on the stream that are like, I'm not clicking the like button. I'm not giving him a like. I was the same way when I followed other people. I'm like, yeah, you don't need a like. I'm not going to give you a like. What is it going to do? I'm not going to do what you want me to do just because I'm sitting here listening to you. You don't control me. I had all those thoughts. So, if you feel like it, and you feel I deserve it, I would be very grateful for any of the likes you want to give me. You know, I was in LA for the first time this year. I've never been to LA. My wife and I went in March to go see a preacher, a minister in LA. Her name's Catherine Crick. Her church is 5F Church. But anyway, I remember driving, and it wasn't actually, my personality is very aggressive at times. I like living on the edge. So I really liked LA traffic when it wasn't rush hour. When it was just, busy, lots of cars, but traffic was flowing, man, I loved it. Like, there's constantly something going around. I got to pay attention to everything. I enjoyed it. The zip and zoom, you bet. You bet. That's 100%. And I did pay for all of the tollways. Those are like a dream when nobody else takes them. I'll spend that extra $7 to save 15 minutes. I don't remember how much, but I remember when I looked at the bill, I'm like, dang. Kelpie, how you doing? I was called off to work today, so was able to trade. Thanks for the additional perspective. Way to go. Up 215. Way to go. I'm glad that you're up, Kelpie. Richard. Hey, I'm glad you're up today. Congrats. That's funny, Sandra. For all of you on here, thank you for the nice words. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, is this it? We're in the macro time. We're in the macro time. I do not want this to be an inversion fair value gap. It could. If it is an inversion fair value gap, it should run into this fair value gap. But I'm really wanting a long. I am going to take a trade off screen on my personal account, just so you guys know. No, I'm not in a trade. I haven't taken one, but I'm going to take another trade if it presents itself and it looks good. This will be off screen. I like these relatively equal lows. I do like if it wants to run through this level. I may consider that. Break even will be the 1041 candle. That's when I move my stop to break even. We do have a volume imbalance we have to be careful on. It could just be looking to wick down into that. All right, I'm in this trade going short, looking for this level right here to be ran. Again, I said we have to watch this volume imbalance right there. As soon as we hit this low, we need to move our stop to break even. We want it to hit at least that low. The only thing that concerns me is that volume imbalance, where we just wicked into it and now want to run the other direction. So as soon as we get that low, we have to move our stop to break even. I like that close. Okay, there's stop to break even right now. All right, I got stopped out. Even though it made equal lows, I'm fine with that. I'll take that as a stop out at break even. So that was a break even trade. See if it wants to come back down here or not, or if it's going to continue higher. It did come up into this inversion fair value gap, so I still want to see it reject. But the trade idea is gone because of these break-evens. But you could re-enter up here because we have equal lows now. That is an option. It's not a high probability. It's not, I wouldn't make a model around it, but it could still absolutely work out. If we can get this swing low, I would like to look for a long if it's going to find this much resistance. I do not want to take a long with these equal lows here. I just won't do it. So if we get a nice long, I probably won't take that trade. Okay, here's that equal low that we were looking for that target. So that trade ended up working out with these equal lows if you didn't move your stop to break even. If you did, you didn't take that trade. You could have re-entered here and took it, but this is what I'm talking about. It looked as if this is what I wanted to see. If it hits this low, now I'm green lit to potentially look for a long here. Here's a 2-minute long I like. We got a 1.5 minutes left. It's this is a hard trade because there's not a quick spot to put your stop at break even on. So it's not 100%. You can look. We'll mark this one out as well. This one seems a little bit better with this swing high sitting right here. So in 1 minute, if we close there, that's an opportunity, especially since we swept this low. I don't like how light we swept the low. It qualifies. But I'm just like, man, that's kind of still looks too smooth to me. It is the macro time, so we have a better chance of actually running for these highs than we do. The 2 minute did not close. You see that? So still no trade idea. No close on the 1 minute either. This is why we wait for those closes. Because now if we run back to these equal lows, that's like, man, my gut feeling that these were still too smooth was correct, right? We could also say that this was a breaker right here, but we're not looking for a breaker. We're not looking for this short. We were looking for longs. So I'm okay with letting this run if it wants to go without me. I want to take the trade based on my analysis, and my analysis is long, is bullish. So I'm not interested in the shorts as much. We did take a short here, and it struggled to actually play out a little bit. It's these bullish candles that are nice and large that go quickly. So that's the side. I mean. There's no logic in that, what I was about to say, so I'm like, I better stop. Viking, what's going on, my friend? Deborah, why wasn't that a order block? Which order block are you referring to? Give me the time frame on give me the time on the 1 minute candle, or excuse me, the 1 minute chart, or if it's another chart, tell me. Quick, Sandra, is there a commitment of traders data on NQ? Where can we see how many contracts are trading at a given time? We can see what's on the monthly. When we switch contracts, so right now we're on NQZ contract. There is a website, if anybody knows it, I can't remember it. Did I save it? There's a website that will tell you the volume of trades that are on this particular contract. I don't know if it will tell you exactly within a given period of time, or, if you want to see how many contracts are traded at 10 a.m. Where you said it was a volume imbalance. Yeah, this order block doesn't grab my attention that much. It does, but because this volume imbalance is down here, I will take that over the order block. If there's a volume imbalance inside the order block, I want to watch the volume imbalance. And look how that volume imbalance has been playing out. So far, it has been respected for the most part, it seems to me that's what it was reaching for, including the sell side liquidity. Now, let's see if we want to go lower. That's still yet to be said or seen. Bar chart. There you go. Thank you, up high me. Richard, this afternoon could be interesting. We've got treasury auctions aplenty. Let's see what happens. At this point in time, I am bullish unless we close below this fair value gap and the 930 price. I am bullish unless we close below this fair value gap and the 930 price. Deborah, I was literally just thinking that. I was literally just thinking, I'm like, man, for a new trader, this can feel like a lot. So I want to give you context. If you are going to learn to be an electrician, right? You go to school for how long? You're on job training. You're an apprentice. How long are you? Is the electrician school? Either way, if you go to a 4-year college, you're going to a 4-year college for a degree that most people won't use. And this is like its own language. Trading is its own language. There are other forms of trading. There's other strategies, other concepts out there that you could learn and potentially see some success. However, what you would be learning is, in my opinion, is not how the market moves. And you ask any trader that uses another strategy. I don't care what strategy they use. I can guarantee you they know how to read or have seen price move long enough to where they know how it reacts, how it moves up and down. And that's the same thing with us. We just have a language. ICT Concepts is a language that puts the movement of the market into verbal words that you can articulate. Instead of saying, hey, we got this wedge here. We got this bull flag here. That is a pattern with an expectation it moves higher. But that's not how the market moves. When you understand liquidity and imbalances and you see where these liquidity imbalances are, that to me is how the market moves. And that's why I am sold out and have been sold out on ICT Concepts, because it has put a language for me to articulate with precision on what's going on in the market. Compared to, you know what, this looks like a bear flag right here. No, all this is consolidation. This is consolidation in my book. We're not going anywhere. I'm waiting for large expansion. When I get that large expansion, it tells me that I can start looking for an opportunity because we are leaving the stage of consolidation. And we could be moving into the manipulation stage, or we may be moving into the distribution stage of AMD, right? I have a language, but that language takes time. That language takes time to learn, to be able to articulate. So you have to give yourself that institutional education time and commitment, right? You, for whatever reason, we pay $40,000, $50,000 to go to college, and then we don't even use it. Look at this, how it did not even run this low. It didn't even get down into this level. This is the expansion that I'm liking. 1 minute time frame right here, 37 seconds left. We swept this low way better than we did right here. And I told you I felt weird about going long right here because it just didn't feel like it swept it enough. This one feels better. Now that I'm seeing in the expansion, I'm interested in a long. $10 seconds. Let's see if it gives it to us. I'm taking the long. Break even is at this high right here. That's when we will move our stop to break even. Stop at break even has to be moved when we hit that high. Okay, I moved my stop to break even. It just made equal highs. I'm okay with that. I would like to move my stop to break even. I'm not selling anything. I'm holding for this high to take some off. And then I'm going to hold my runners and see if we can get a close above this inversion fair value gap, which would then take us to the data highs up way up there. Come on, don't stop me out. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm stopped out at break even. Do you understand the value of that break even? Oh my gosh. Yes, you could have taken profits if you wanted. But I so appreciate that break even. If we get a close above this 30-second, or even this fair value gap, I might look at re-entering this long. We just hit this breaker sitting right here. I want a 1 minute change, or a 1 minute or 30 seconds change in state of delivery. We can do a 1 minute even. 35 seconds. You just don't want to go long here when we hit it because we could still drop. That's what you got to be careful for, especially since we've been in this range and we've seen this before. We just got to be very careful. This is why we have break-even trades. Oh man, I was hoping that was just gonna blow up and go higher. Okay, I'm taking this. Stop is at break even when we hit this high. Oh, don't give me that. We just closed above this order block. Let's see if where this candle closes. There we go. Come on, 28 seconds. Give me an expansion now. Okay, if we run this high right here, or we get close to it, I'm going to move my stop to break even just to protect, because it could run the other way, as it is right now. If we close below this green candle, I'm closing my position. Looking for that high to be ran. If we run this high or get above this high, we should hit this high. So stop, no matter what, should be moved to break even. Looking for the close below this candle here. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't like this structure. It needs to go now, and if it doesn't go now, it's not the type price action I want to be in. I just moved my stop to that low. I'm looking for it to run that high right there. Come on, hit that high for me. All right, stops at break even. Oh, the break even. There it goes. Okay. Let's see what happens with this fair value gap here. Son of a biscuit. Son of a biscuit. What's your light bulb moment, Deborah? This is the move. This is going to be the move, guys. I feel it. And now I obviously could still be wrong, but I feel like this is the move. All right. Stop is going to be, guys, I'm doing this because I'm on a personal account, off screen, small size, but I'm really wanting to capitalize on this data high here. That's what this is for. Stop is going to be at this low here, 414. Unless this is all manipulation, I'm going to be annoyed if this is manipulation to go all the way back down. Because it certainly could do that. And it... Don't stop me out. This is not a good sign right away. When it gives me a green candle in the first 15 seconds... I see that as manipulation. Unless it just keeps going, it could just right down. I need to see expand right there. Nope. Honestly, I should put the stop right below that. And it is a close below this level here. So it's a close below is what it should be. Oh, the break even. Yes, Deborah. If you guys saw, I put this fair value gap on here right at the open of stream. So this has been on here for quite a while, waiting for this. I'm just not a fan that it's not the macro time right now. I am a little annoyed that it's 11:20. It's 11 was this low here. We should just keep moving higher. That would be 50 handles. It's gonna stop us out, folks. All right, there's our stop at break, or there's our closed position. It closed below that. I did not sell it right there, if I'm honest. Now, if this green candle turns back down to a red candle or closes really close to the opening price, I will close the position. Close above it. Come on. Thank you. Jesse, it has shifted to be very difficult. Yes, it's moving. It's moving higher, and my guess is it's going to continue that way. But just the way it's going about, it's being very lethargic. It's high resistance, really. And this is the data. This is the data low. Is that 929? Oh no, that's not the data low. Okay. I want to see this go green. Five-minute candle closed 5 minutes ago, 30 seconds before this next. I want to see this 5-minute close green. It's literally taken all day to go back to these data highs. Or all morning, I should say. 10 seconds. Okay, there's our green candle. I'm liking that. I like how we came into this 5-minute. I should see an expansion here to this data high, or not data high, but an expansion above this 5-minute wick high. We do have this 5-minute volume imbalance sitting right here. That could be another point of resistance. Let's see how it reacts to this level. If we can push right through it, I won't care about it. If we can push right through it very quickly, it could do one of these. There's no reason for it to come back down in this mess, folks. I don't see any reason for it to come back down. I told you that the 5 minute should expand now to this high. We just got that expansion, and we just wicked into this volume imbalance. I want to see it push through it quickly. I want to see it go through it like butter. I don't want to see resistance here. We got a swing high sitting right. Oh, no, that's not a swing high. We got another candle after that. This is what I don't want to see. This is just high resistance liquidity run. It's coming up to every imbalance and volume imbalance and fair value gap and finding resistance to it. There we go. Come on. Close above it. There we go. Ah, that's okay. Immediate rebalance. Immediate rebalance. I want to see this explode off of this level. Explode is probably a little strong, but I want to see it react from this level here. Not go lower. Watching the midpoint of this wick right here. We're at the order block now. Let's see if it retraces or sucks back higher. All right, I'm going to close that trade because I don't want it to go red on me again. I just closed that position. It went from way red to green to a little bit in profit, and I closed it. This could just go right higher right here. Order block, that makes sense, to be honest. If this closes above this, this would make sense. But I got out with the expectation that it doesn't do that. And it wants to retrace a little bit. Seems as I was correct. Volume imbalance is right here. Isn't that funny? Got the small order block here, but I mean, I'm not putting much significance into that. Yeah, when it didn't respect the immediate rebalance, the consequent encroachment of this candle's wick right here, and we went through and we tagged this order block, that's when I'm like, 3 PD arrays were violated. I'm getting out because it could be just dropping the other direction. Not gonna lie, I'm getting tired, folks. This was this is a fantastic trade we took, but ever since then it's been tough. It's been tough. Thankfully, we haven't lost any money because what have we been using? The break-even strategy. That protects me so much. I am grateful for it. And what did we say about this volume imbalance? Keep track of it. I said watch it. We could find resistance there. There's even a volume imbalance on the 1 minute. The discount portion of the 5 minute. Let's see where the bodies closed. Nope, the bodies went all the way up to the 5 minute. Interesting. So a lot of things to take into account and keep track of, but as you learn them all, you start putting the whole picture together, and it's just a beautiful, it creates a story. What do you think? If you guys didn't pick that up, that's what I meant by what do you think? Break even is right there. We got our new day opening gaps sitting right here as more resistance. Oh, come on. You should be hitting that right there. Give me a little poppy pop. Come on. Let's go poppy, poppy, pop it. Come on. All right, there is our break even. Stop loss has been moved to break even. Is that even on there? Let's see. Here's my entry right here. Probably getting stopped out, right? And am I getting stopped out? Oh, it's going to stop me out. Not conducive for a good trading environment. This was that trade I took. I held it all through here. Took along here, held it through all that drawdown, and then I sold it here because I didn't want it to go into drawdown. There's just, it's high resistance right now. A lot of high resistance liquidity, meaning it goes a little higher, it retraces, goes a little higher, it retraces. At some point, it's just going to explode. We just don't know when that exactly is going to be. And it makes it hard. It makes a hard trading environment. Yeah, Jesse, that's exactly what's happening. I mean, you look at all this price action in here. Only good move is the play we took down here on this BPR play, moving higher. I was hoping that it was just going to take off from there, but man, you had to hold. This is a lot. And let me guess, we're probably going to get some type of retracement from this level here and here. These two levels are going to give us some type of retracement. I hope I'm right because I'm not getting in long. I'm kind of emotionally tired for taking trades. I feel like I've taken too many trades anyway. Surprisingly, we've only had one loss, and that was the second trade I took. So I'm like committed to these data highs. But, folks, I think I'm going to call it a day. It's been a long one. I'm tired. We've been on for 2 hours. Charles, I'm just reading your text now, or your chat, or your message now. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day, folks. So, we'll be on here tomorrow morning. Way to go, 18 points. That's a winner. That's all you need. 10 to 20 points is all you need. So we're going to call it a day here, folks. Thanks for being here. We will see you all tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. I should be, by the grace of God, on time. 9:20 Eastern Standard Time. We will be here. Thanks for being here, guys. God bless you.